Out for the second week running, we're talking about Mehmeti. What a week it's been for Bristol City. Up and down, Watford and Plymouth. We're reviewing all of that. We're also previewing the trip to Portsmouth, talking about the January window priorities, who's on the list for Bristol City, and who gets these guys vote for November Player of the Month. Thank you very much, of course, for joining us. This is a 10-minute review of all things Bristol City. Lots to get through, gentlemen. How are you? Did you think at half-time against Plymouth it wasn't going to happen, Sam?
Yeah, 100%. I thought it was going to be Watford all over again at half-time, to be fair. Dominated first half and no goals.
We'll jump straight into all those reviews. Before we do, please drop us a subscribe. We're trying to get to 75 this week. We want to get to 100 by the end of the year, so help us get to 75. Press the button there. It's 20 minutes, as I say, every week at Bristol City Chat. Lots to get into. Liam, last week we talked about the frustrations of Mehmeti, and I suppose does this week just highlight exactly the points that you were making? One game anonymous and the other game brilliant.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even in the first half yesterday, there were a few where he could have pulled the trigger and he would take the extra 2 or 3 touches. And even everyone around me was moaning and groaning. And then obviously second half, he came out and sort of stole the show a little. But you hit the nail on the head. He's the most frustrating player I think we've got. And I will die by that sword.
Yeah. Apologies to him last week. Obviously proved us, shut us up a little bit this week, Sam. Let's have a look at some. The Scott Twine goal, I like this from Will. Possibly the least Scott Twine goal imaginable. Still would have loved if he picked up a consistent run of form now. He has seemed bright the last couple of games. Is he getting back to his best for you, Sam?
Yeah, hopefully. He's still got a long way to go to get back to his best, what he played when he was on loan. But, I mean, coming on against Watford, he had that great strike, which he was unlucky with, what hit the bar. And to get his goal, it was a lucky touch what he got on it. But they all count at the end of the day, and that should hopefully give him a bit of confidence going into the upcoming games.
Brilliant. Other ones, really good performance, says CR. Though it has to be said, Plymouth were absolutely awful. Viner, Pring, Knight, all excellent, but the man of the match, Liam, has to go to Mehmeti, who was superb. Do you agree with that?
Although he was good, I think it was Jason Knight. I think everything went through him and Max Bird yesterday, and Knight ran it for me. Yes, Mehmeti scored. I guess it counts as an assist for the Twine goal as well. But all our play went through Jason Knight yesterday. He was all over the place. So for me, it would be Knight, although Mehmeti would be a very close second.
We've criticised your team, Sam, in the last couple of weeks for not scoring enough goals. What happened at Watford? Was it a case of overplaying a bit, I read?
Yeah, definitely. It was just the lack of conviction in the final third. I mean, as football fans say, we got championship manager in that game. We totally dominated and then conceded a goal for one shot on target.
But then you put that right, Liam. Is it? Can we read too much into that result? Is it? What does it? Does it tell us more about you, or does it tell us more about Plymouth? That game.
I think it's careful not to get too carried away. Okay, we still had to score the goals, but Plymouth were diabolical yesterday. It's got to be out there said. How Rooney is still in that job, I do not know. I just don't see where their tactics are coming from. We've got probably two of the tallest centre backs in the league, and they're playing everything long ball through the middle. Very, very easy for us. That being said, we still had to win the game. So first was a bit. I think I saw the stats. We had 71% possession and 13 shots at goal and only 3 on target. So when half time came, it was 0-0. Even the people I was sat around, they were saying, "Oh God, this got 1-0 Plymouth all over it." I myself said that, and obviously when we got the first goal, I think as soon as that went in, their heads dropped. Confidence was sucked out of their team completely, and the floodgates opened. It could have been 6 or 7 by the end of it, really.
Okay. We should also mention Sinclair Armstrong, Sam, because he managed to bag one as well. What have you made of him? His switch to your guys. It hasn't hasn't lit it up as much as others might have hoped for.
No, he's a bit underwhelming, to be fair. On his day when he wants to play, he's an absolute unit up front. But I mean, he didn't have the best goal scoring record at QPR, but he scored more goals for us than what he has for QPR in his career. There's definitely a player there. It's just whether he can get his head in the right place and take his chances.
Okay. Well, we're going to take some responsibility for Mehmeti performing better because we had a go at him last week. So this week we'll say well done, and then watch him have a stinker against Portsmouth. We're going to come and have a look at the January transfer window in a second, but it's Portsmouth up next. Now you guys have played each other in a number of friendly games over the last couple of seasons. Is there a special relationship here, Sam, between you and Pompey?
Well, I don't think there is. I think it's just, when we play down at Pompey, we always take a good follow in, and the same when they come up to our place. There's no connection between us, and it's just an easy win for us most times.
There hasn't been a championship game between the two of you since 2012. There was an FA Cup meeting some years ago. Here's the team from that day, Liam. I just want you to have a look at the side that last went to Portsmouth for a competitive championship fixture. How do you rate this City side against the current one?
I'd say we definitely, probably player for player, maybe ability wise, we're a little bit better off. But that being said, you've got Lewis Carrier. I actually used to love watching him play centre back. He was he was a rock at the back. So if I could take him and put him in today's game, I would. But I would say we're probably in a better place as a squad. I can't imagine with that team there. I can't imagine who was to come off the bench. Looking back at it, to what we had yesterday was quite a strong bench. So as a squad overall, I'd probably say we're in a better position.
Okay, Sam, what about you? Would you have any of this side of 12 years ago in the current one?
Yeah, like Liam said, Lewis Carey, club legend. He'd be great in our side at the moment. And also, I used to like Liam Fontaine as well. On his day, he was a very classy defender. And the only other one in that side is if we could have a young Albert Adoma on the wing, we'd be laughing.
Okay. Yeah, 2012 is the last time you played Pompey. What do you make of them? Do you see them as relegation certainties? I know you won't have watched every game, but Liam,
I wouldn't say they were certainties, but I think they're going to be in and around it. Whether there's three worst teams in the league, I'm not sure. But they seem to be a bit hit and miss. It seems like sometimes they play quite well, other times they don't really turn up. So it'd be interesting to see which Portsmouth we play next week.
Mm-hmm. Any changes to the winning side, Sam? Do you think Manning will make for this trip?
No, I think go with the same starting 11 as what he started with yesterday, and keep a bit of consistency going within the squad.
Yeah, absolutely. Got some big games coming up, haven't we, as well? All right, we'll look forward to that one. Portsmouth against Bristol City this weekend. Score prediction, Liam?
I'm going to say 2-0. 2-0 City.
Okay. Sam?
I'm going to put out there 3-1. A nice 3-1 victory.
All right, lovely. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Then we're starting now the discussions around January transfers, so all the kids will be writing their list to Santa. Sam, what's top of the Bristol City list?
I think, in my eyes, we need a proven goal scorer. There's names been banded around Evan Ferguson. Whether or not he would drop down to us from Brighton, it's a long shot, but it's got to be worth a cheeky bid, surely. If Brighton want to loan him out, I think he'd be the perfect fit for us.
Is that you giving up on Fally then?
Yeah, I wish him to do well, but he just hasn't impressed me when he comes on. It's just the work rate, whether he's struggling to settle into Bristol, I don't know, but he just don't seem the player what we were hoping to be.
Okay. Liam, what's top what should be top of the list?
For me personally, I think we need a bit more depth in the centre of the park. you look at yesterday, for instance, McGuane missed out through a back injury. So Bird dropped in alongside Knight in the double pivot, and then Twine played more or less in the 10. After Bird or Knight, one of those two get injured, I don't know who would come in to fill that void. It might mean a change of system. So for me, I'd probably look at another centre midfielder. But I think, again, I think it comes down to who possibly leaves. Because I think we're pretty set up. I don't think it'd be nice to have a proven goal scorer, but I think with the three up front, they might start clicking. He's had a bit of a dry patch, a couple of games without a goal now. Maybe might set him up. Maybe he might go on a bit of a run scoring. We don't know, but I wouldn't say a forward is the need at the moment. I would say cover in midfield, whether that be a loan signing or a permanent. Who knows?
Okay. Anything else we need to add to the list?
Maybe a decent backup goalkeeper to put a bit of pressure on Max.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he hasn't really got much competition there, has he?
No, not really.
We've got Bajic, but he hasn't convinced me whenever I've seen him play.
Okay. All right. Let us know what you think then as well. What should be top of the list, and then of course in the next coming weeks we'll look at possibilities. Thanks for that. Then November is over though. We are now into December, so you know what that means. It's time for your November Player of the Month. Let's see if you can give it to someone different this month, if you can. Liam, kick this one off.
Gonna be Jason Knight again. He's just there every week. But if I've got to go for someone different, I think Hughes had a good month. I think Finer's had a good month. So any one of those three, really. Oh, McNally is probably worth a shout as well. He's had a good, steady month. So if I can't give it to Knight again, I'd probably go with McNally.
McNally, okay. Sam.
Well, I think the club will end up giving it to Mehmeti after 4 goals this month. Naki Wells has been playing pretty well, but just not getting the goals. Like Liam said, Liam McNally's had a really good month, but I think personally I would give it to Max Bird.
Okay, that's a good show. Yeah, right. Do you agree? Let us know. Let us know in the comments below. Looking forward to the football coming up. Then, Liam, it's a lot of games coming up, which we haven't spoken about before. There's a lot of cost for people. Do you feel there's a bit too much? Would you like to see a winter break come in?
No, not for me personally. If it's not broken, don't fix it. It's always been the case where we have, obviously, this year will be 21st Boxing Day, 29th New Year's Day. It's been the same for God knows how long. So I don't think it needs changing. That's why, and then people might say about injuries, but that's why you have a squad of players. You have a squad to be able to rotate players in and out. So for me, no, I love the festive period because it's football. Whether the misses or not does, it's a different story. But as much football as you can in the break between Christmas and New Year, where everyone's a bit what day. No one knows what day it is half the time. So seeing that much football on TV is a good thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's only one day in December where there isn't a competitive football game, which is man is on
Christmas
TV
Day.
anyway. Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sam?
Yeah, I don't agree with having a complete break. I mean, if anything, I would narrow down the midweek fixtures in the run-up to Christmas. I mean, obviously, we've got Portsmouth away and then a long trip to Sunderland as well, all within a short space of time. And it does add up a lot of money for travel expenses and that just before Christmas. But yeah, I wouldn't scrap the Boxing Day, New Year's Day at all.
Okay. You got your tickets for both those, Sam? Dare I ask?
Yes. Yeah, I'll be there.
True supporter, right. Thank you very much, both of you. We'll catch you, of course, next week when we'll be chatting about how the Portsmouth game has gone. Enjoy your trip to Pompey, and we'll catch you both next week. Thank you very much for joining.